In the Wild West, where justice is often done by gun, two names make a big splash and embody the law: Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday. They are the epitome of frontier legends, revered as the bravest lawmen. But what happens when these legends go from peacekeepers to vengeance seekers? Prepare yourself for a gripping tale of the Earp Vendetta Ride, a daring and perilous pursuit that will forever engrave their names in the annals of history. Join us in unraveling the story of their deadly quest, fueled by loyalty, honor, and a thirst for law enforcement in the Wild West. Remember to hit the like button because it helps us a lot. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press the notification bell to not miss the upcoming interesting videos. After a long smoldering feud and growing threats, Tombstone town Marshal Virgil Earp, along with his brothers Morgan Earp, Wyatt Earp, and Doc Holliday, confront outlaw Cowboys Billy Claiborne, Clanton, Billy Clanton, Tom and Frank McLaury, during a gunfight at the OK Corral on October 26, 1881. This gunfight is often considered one of the most famous gunfights in American Wild West history. The attorneys killed 3 cowboys in the gunfight. Clanton filed a murder charge, and after a month-long preliminary hearing, Judge Wells Spicer found that the attorneys were acting up to their duties. But Spicer's ruling didn't end the matter for Clanton and the other cowboys. On December 28, 1881, just over 2 months after the gunfight at the OK Corral, 3 men ambushed Virgil Earp as he was walking back from Shefflin Hall back to the Cosmopolitan Hotel. He was shot in the back and upper left arm, breaking his arm bone. Although Dr. George E. Goodfellow saved Virgil's arm, he carried it in a sling for the rest of his life. On March 18, 1882, Tombstone's Shefflin Hall was the site of Stolen Kisses, a play by William Horace Lingard and Company. Despite receiving death threats, Morgan, Doc Holliday, and Dan Tipton attended the play. Wyatt and Benjamin Goodrich warned against attending. After that, Doc went to his room, and Morgan and Tipton continued to Hatch's saloon and billiard parlor. Morgan and Bob Hatch started playing snooker. Wyatt, Tipton, and McMaster were playing cards at a table near the back door. At 10:50 p.m., someone fired 2 shots through the window of the back door. A bullet went through Morgan, broke his spine, and then lodged in George A.B. Barry's thigh. Another bullet hit the wall above Wyatt's head. While Hatch rushes out to search for the shooters, Morgan died within an hour after that. Wyatt Earp felt that he could not rely on court justice and decided to deal with the matter on his own. He concluded that the only way to deal with Virgil and Morgan's attackers, as well as the ongoing threat to the entire Earp family, was to kill the cowboys responsible. On Sunday, March 19th, the day after Morgan was murdered, Wyatt Earp, his brother James, Doc Holliday, and several others prepared to go with Virgil and his wife, along with Morgan's body, to the railroad head at Benson. From there, James would accompany them to the family home in Colton, California. Morgan's wife and parents await his burial. Wyatt borrowed a double-barreled Spencer pistol from Fred Dodge. On Monday, Wyatt received confidential information that Frank Stillwell, Clanton, Hank Swilling, and other cowboys were spying on passenger trains in Tucson with the intention of killing Virgil Earp. He quickly assembled a group of men including Warren Earp, Doc Holliday, Turkey Creek Jack Johnson, and Sherman McMaster, protecting Virgil and Allie. At Contention City, they set up a horse and picked up an additional wagon. They sat in the wagon to the railroad head at Benson, where they caught the next train to Tucson. They were all armed with pistols or rifles except Virgil, who had pistols. Nathan W. Waite of Ash Canyon in the Huachuca Mountains was on board with the Earp group. He said Earp's men were all armed and McMaster wore 2 cartridge belts. After Earp's group finished their dinner at the Porter's Hotel, they returned to the train. Holliday asked someone to take his shotgun. Wyatt escorted Virgil and Allie onto the train. One passenger told Virgil that he saw armed men at the station. Wyatt also saw them. As the train left Tucson Station around 7 p.m., 6 loud shots are heard. Witnesses gave different accounts, but Frank Stillwell's body was found in the morning of March 21st near the Porter Hotel. There are many gunshot wounds on the body. George Hand, who saw the body, said Stillwell was the worst shot dead man I've ever seen. According to the coroner, Dr. Dexter Lyford, he found a bullet wound through Stillwell's body under his armpit, a rifle wound through the upper left arm, a wound through the liver, abdomen, and stomach. The coroner concluded that Stillwell was shot with 5 different weapons. His gunshot under the arm or through the abdomen could be the cause of death. On the night of March 20th, after killing Stillwell in Tucson and verifying that the train was en route to California with the rest of the family, the group headed southeast along the South Pacific Railroad out of Tucson to the Papago Freight Station. On the morning of March 22nd, part of Earp's team consisting of Wyatt, Warren, Doc Holliday, Sherman McMaster, and Turkey Creek Johnson headed east to Pete Spence's ranch and logging camp off Chiricahua Road below the pass, south of the Dragoon Mountains. According to Theodore Judah, who witnessed the events at the log camp, the Earp team arrived around 11 a.m. and asked him about the location of Pete Spence and Florentino Indian Charlie Cruz. He reveals to them that Spence is in prison in Tombstone and Cruz is cutting firewood nearby. They went in the direction that Judah pointed. Judah himself soon heard several shots fired. Judah searched for Cruz that night without success. The next morning, he went to look for it again and found his body covered with bullet holes. On March 24, 1882, the Earp group was scheduled to meet Charlie Smith at Iron Springs in the Whetstone Mountains. Smith brought in $1,000 from Tombstone to help pay the cost of ownership. With Wyatt and Doc Holliday in the lead, 6 attorneys climbed a small building overlooking the stream and were surprised to find 9 cowboys already there: Curly Bill, Pony Deal, Johnny Barnes, Frank Patterson, Milt Hicks, Bill Hicks, Bill Johnson, Ed Lyle, and Johnny Lyle. They camped around the stream, cooked meals about 9 meters from a small embankment. Recognizing Earp, Curly Bill immediately fired his pistol at Wyatt, but only hit the horse saddle. Under the circumstances, Earp jumped off his horse, holding a 22-inch pistol he had borrowed from Fred Dodge. The other cowboys shot at the attorneys. Texas Jack Vermillion's horse was killed and crushed on him. Vermillion was unable to retrieve the rifle shoved under his fallen horse. Doc Holliday pulled Vermillion from under his horse, and they, Johnson and McMaster, shot at the cowboys as they shot cover. Wyatt bravely leapt forward, gun in hand, and shot Curly Bill in the chest, nearly cutting him in half. Curly Bill fell into the water at the edge of the stream and lay dead. Everything happened so fast. After killing Brocious, the cowboys panicked. In that situation, Earp, in a rage, continued to fire his pistol and shot Johnny Barnes in the chest and in the hand of Milt Hicks. When trying to get back on his horse, Wyatt had trouble getting up in the saddle because his cartridge belt had slipped down around his lap. With the help of Doc Holliday and the others, he was finally able to get on his horse and retreat. By April 1882, the Earp team had been riding for nearly 3 weeks as they rested at Henry Hooker's Sierra Bonita Ranch in the Graham Mountains. Behan's team figured out where they were, but the rest of his team got tired and gave up. Later, the Earp faction drove Ike Clanton, Pony Deal, Hank Swilling, and the others out of the territory. Knowing they could not get a fair trial in Tucson for killing Stillwell, the Earp team eventually gave up and headed to Colorado around April 15th. Although the trip appeared to be over, Johnny Ringo was found dead on July 18, 1882. Some believe the perpetrators were none other than Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday, who returned to kill him. Other cowboys also began to die, including Billy Grounds, who was killed by Billy Breckenridge, and Billy Claiborne by Buckskin Frank Leslie. Please like and share if you find the video content interesting and useful. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and comment below so as not to miss the upcoming interesting videos. Thanks for watching.